Welcome to all devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nārāyaṇam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiret nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naistiki. Hare Krishna. Today we continue Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, Birth of Emperor Parikshit, Shloka number 22 and 23. Mrugendra iva vikrantah
मृगेन्द्र इव विक्रान्तः
निषेव्य
निषेव्यः हिम आनिवः
In progress.
निषेव्यान निषेव्य हिमानैः
निषेव्य हिम आनि इव
तितिक्षुः वसुधा एव असौ
तितिक्षुः वसुधा एव असौ
सहिष्णुः पितरौ इव
सहिष्णुः पितरौ इव
पितामह समः साम्ये
पितामह समः साम्ये
प्रसादे गिरीशोपमः
प्रसादे गिरीशः उपमः
आश्रयः सर्वभूतानां
आश्रयः सर्वभूतानां
यथा देवः रमा आश्रयः
यथा देवः रमा आश्रयः
मृगेन्द्रः इव विक्रान्तः
मृगेन्द्र इव विक्रान्तः
निषेव्यः हिमवान इव
निषेव्यः हिमवान इव
तितिक्षुः वसुधा एव असौ
तितिक्षुः वसुधा एव असौ
सहिष्णुः पितरौ इव
सहिष्णुः पितरौ इव
पितामह समसाम्ये
पितामह समः साम्ये
प्रसादे गिरीश उपमः
प्रसादे गिरीश उपमः
आश्रयः सर्वभूतानां
आश्रयः सर्वभूतानां
यथा देवः रमाश्रयः
यथा देव रमा आश्रयः
मृगेन्द्रः इव विक्रान्तः निषेव्यः हिमवान इव तितिक्षुः वसुधा एव असौ सहिष्णुः पितरौ इव पितामह समसाम्ये प्रसादे गिरीशोपमः आश्रयः सर्वभूतानां यथा देव रमाश्रयः. हरे
मृगेन्द्र
कृष्ण.
इव विक्रान्तः निषेव्य हिमवान इव तितिक्षुः वसुधेव असौ सहिष्णुः पितरौ इव पितामह समः साम्ये प्रसादे गिरीशः उपमः आश्रयः सर्वभूतानां यथा देवः रमा आश्रयः.
पूनम माताजी. कृपामयी माताजी.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण.
मृगेन्द्र इव विक्रान्तो तितिक्षु वसुधा असौ सशिष्णुना पितरौ इव पितामह समः साम्ये प्रसिद्धः आश्रय सर्वभूतानां यथा देवो रम आश्रय.
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This child will be as strong as a lion and as worthy a shelter as the Himalaya mountain. He will be forbearing like the earth and as tolerant as his parents. This child will be like his grandfather Yudhiṣṭhira or Brahmā in equanimity of mind. He will be munificent like the Lord of the Kailāsa Hill, Śiva, and he will be the restorer of everyone, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nārāyaṇa, who is even the shelter of the goddess of fortune. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One is compared to the lion when one is very strong in chasing an enemy. One should be a lamb at home and a lion at chase. The lion never fails in the chase of an animal. Similarly, the head of the state should never fail in chasing an enemy. The Himalaya Mountains are famous for all richness. There are innumerable caves to live in, numberless trees of good fruits to eat, good springs to drink water from, and profuse drugs and minerals to cure diseases. Any man who is not materially prosperous can take shelter of this great mountain, and he will be provided with everything required. Both the materialist and the spiritualist can take advantage of the great shelter of the Himalayas. On surface of the earth there are so many disturbances caused by inhabitant. In modern age, the people have begun to detonate atomic weapons on the surface of the earth, and still the earth is forbearing to the inhabitants. Like a mother who excuses a little child, parents are always tolerant to children for all sorts of mischievous acts. An ideal king may be possessed of all these good qualities, and the child Parikshit is foretold to have all these qualities in perfection. Mental equanimity refers both to Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira and to Brahma, the grandfather of all living beings. According to Sridhar Swami, grandfather referred to is Brahma, but according to Vishwanath Chakravarti, the grandfather is Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira himself. But in both cases, comparison is equally good because both of them are recognized representatives of the Supreme Lord. Thus, both of them have to maintain mental equanimity, being engaged in welfare work for living being. Any responsible executive agent at top of administration has to tolerate different types of onslaughts from the very persons for whom he works. Brahmaji was criticized even by the gopis, the highest perfectional devotees of Lord. The gopis were dissatisfied with the work of Brahmaji because Lord Brahma, as creator of this particular universe, created eyelids which obstructed their seeing on Lord Krishna. They could not tolerate a moment's blinking of the eyes, for it kept them from seeing their beloved Lord Krishna. So, what to speak of others who are naturally very critical for every action of a responsible man? Similarly, Maharaj Yudhishthir had to cross over many difficult situations created by his enemies. He proved to be the most perfect maintainer of mental equanimity in all critical circumstances. Therefore, example of both grandfathers for maintaining equanimity of mind is quite fitting. Lord Shiva is a celebrated demigod who awards gift to beggars. His name is therefore Ashutosh, or one who is pleased very easily. He is also called the Bhutanath, or the Lord of the common folk, who are mainly attached to him because of his munificent gifts. Even without consideration of the after effects, Ravana was very attached to Lord Shiva. By easily pleasing him, Ravana became so powerful that he wanted to challenge the authority of the Lord Rama. Of course, Ravana was never helped by Lord Shiva. When he fought with Rama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Lord of Lord Shiva, to Vakrasur, Lord Shiva awarded a benediction which was not only awkward but also disturbing. Brukrasura became empowered by the grace of Lord Shiva to vanish anyone's head simply by touching it. Although this was awarded by Lord Shiva, the cunning fellow wanted to make an experiment of the power by touching the head of Lord Shiva. Thus, the Lord had to take shelter of Vishnu to save himself from trouble. And the Lord Vishnu, by his illusory potency, asked Vakrasura to make an experiment with his own head. The fellow did it and was finished himself. And so the world was saved from all sorts of trouble by such a cunning beggar of the demigods. The excellent point is that Lord Shiva never denies anyone any sort of gift. He is therefore the most generous, although sometimes some kind of a mistake is made. Rama means the goddess of fortune, and her shelter is Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the maintainer of all living beings. There are innumerable living beings not only on the surface of this planet but also in all other hundreds of thousands of planets. All of them are provided with all necessities of life for the progressive march towards the end of self-realization, but on the path of sense gratification, they are put into difficulty by the agency of Maya, the illusory energy, and so travel the path of a false plan of economic development. Such economic development is never successful because it is illusory. These men are always after mercy of illusory goddess of fortune, but they do not know that goddess of fortune can live only under protection of Vishnu. Without Vishnu, goddess of fortune is an illusion. We should therefore seek protection of Vishnu instead of directly seeking protection of goddess of fortune. Only Vishnu and devotees of Vishnu can give protection to all. And because Maharaj Parikshit was himself protected by Vishnu, it was quite possible for him to give complete protection to all who wanted to live under the rule. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुवे च कृपा सिन्धुभे एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. We try to understand shloka number 22 and 23. In the shlokas, describe about the Parikshit Maharaj. How Parikshit Maharaj will be as strong as lion and worthy or shelter as Himalaya Mountains, and uh, forbearing like the earth, and tolerant as parents. And then again, next shloka they comparing about the giving the importance of the uh, benediction given by the Shiva to Vrutrasura. What happened? All these points are described in two shlokas. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna Mancha Kalpatarubhecha Kripa Sindhubhe Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Maharaj Parikshit, his astrological chart has been studied by the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas are responding to Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj about what this young small child is going to be in future. And they are describing all the worthy qualities which makes Maharaj Parikshit one of the best unalloyed devotees of Lord Krishna. So in continuation of the qualities being mentioned, they are now giving the description of how he will have a lot of strength, which will make him as strong as a lion. And a good leader is always supposed to be giving shelter. And what better than the Himalayan mountains? And so the Brahmana says that he will be worthy a shelter as the Himalayan mountains. And for his quality of a forbearance, he is compared to Mother Earth. For any good success, it is always important that we have to be tolerant. And the Parikshit Maharaj is being said that he will be as tolerant as the parents. Then regarding equanimity of mind, he is being compared to Yudhiṣṭhira as well as Brahmāji. For munificence, he is being compared to Lord Śiva. And for being a shelter, a resort for everyone, he is compared to Lord Nārāyaṇa, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna himself, who is shelter even of the goddess of fortune. Now, for a person who is in the administrative capacity, who is the head of the country, head of the state, it is very important that he should be able to give protection. He should be able to fight off all the enemies. Because the enemies will be always making plans on how to destabilize the state. And especially if it is a progressive state. Hence, it is important that the king has to be very strong. And the strength of the king is his inability to repel all kinds of attacks. He should be in a position that he not only repels the attacks, but he actually chases the enemy away. But when it comes to within the nation, he should be very meek for his citizens, just like a lamb at home. A lion, it is mentioned that when he is chasing an animal, he never fails. He goes all out. He makes all the efforts, irrespective of the kind of animal he has selected to be his prey. So, and hence, the lion never fails in the chase of an animal. Similarly, the head of the state should never fail in chasing an enemy away. And it is predicted that Maharaj Parikshit will become such strong person. But in spite of his strength, he will always ensure that he is giving shelter to everyone. And the best of the shelters are the Himalayan mountains. Just close your eyes and try to just imagine the Himalayas. You will see those snow-capped peaks, so many varieties of, what I'll say, animals, fruits, trees, springs of water, beautiful caves, innumerable. So it is famous for its richness. Even the Sanjeevani Bhuti, which we have heard about in Ramayana, it is said that it has come from the Himalayan mountains. They even have the minerals which can cure any kind of a disease. And they do not segregate. Even if a person is not materially prosperous, he can take shelter of the Himalayas and he'll be provided with everything that is ever required. Hence, amongst the protectors, Himalaya is amongst the shelter givers, Himalayas are considered the best. And Parikshit Maharaj is compared to them. Today in Kali Yuga especially, we find so many disturbances which are caused by the inhabitants on the surface of the earth. There are atomic weapons being detonated. There are drilling machines which are being said. Oceanic missiles being put about. So many big, tall buildings are constructed by digging the foundation deep. Large dams are being constructed, which the scientists say have actually slowed down the movement of the earth and increased the day span. But still, earth is forbearing to the inhabitants, just like a mother who excuses a little child. And that is why forbearance, no one can be more better than earth. And Parikshit Maharaj is declared to be having equal amounts of forbearance. And when it comes to tolerance, who can better be the tolerant than parents? The children are always running around doing mischievous activities, and still parents are tolerant. Look at Yashoda Maiya and Kana. Still Yashoda Maiya was tolerant. So an ideal king should have all these qualities in perfection. At the same time, for good success, good ruling, mental equanimity is required. So here in the shloka, the Brahmanas say that when it comes to equanimity, he will be as good as Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira himself or even Lord Brahmā, who is the grandfather of all living beings. So Sridhar Swami says that this shloka is talking about Brahmaji, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says it is about Yudhiṣṭhira Maharaj himself. But both are equal because they are both representatives of Krishna and they have maintained mental equanimity. They have always been engaged in the welfare work for the living beings. Tolerance is very important for such persons because there will be onslaught from the citizens themselves. Brahmaji was criticized by gopis because they thought the eyelids which are blinking is preventing them from seeing Krishna. So if Brahmaji can be chastised, what to think of the normal persons like you and me? The wives will chastise the husbands, not understanding their glorious activities, and vice versa. Even Maharaj Yudhiṣṭhira, he had to cross over many difficult situations, and he proved a perfect maintainer of mental equanimity in all critical circumstances. When it comes to munificence, no one is bigger than Ashutosh, that is Lord Shivji, who gives awards to anyone and everyone who comes to him and asks for it. He is Bhutnath. He is ready to give anything without considering the results of it. Ravana pleased him, became powerful, and he challenged Lord Rama. Vrakrasur, he got the benediction that anyone whose head it touches, it will be vanished. And he tried to do the same for Lord Shiva. Luckily, he took shelter of Vishnu, and Vishnu asked Vrakrasur to experiment first, and thus saved Lord Shivji. So Lord Shiva never denies anyone any sort of gift. He is generous in spite of making mistakes repeatedly. And Narayan is the best amongst the shelter givers. In fact, he is a shelter even for Rama Devi. who is the goddess of fortune. Lord Vishnu is maintainer of living beings. So there are so many jivas on this planet as well as so many innumerable thousands and millions of planets. He gives everything to anyone. As you have seen in Yudhiṣṭhira, Ishavasya sarvam. And he hopes that everyone will come with self-realization. But then we get onto the path of self-gratification, and so we get tested by Maya, the illusory energy. And that is where we think about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas from material economic development perspective. But then it can never be successful because it is illusory. Everyone is trying to get money, wealth, which is just illusory. Goddess of fortune. Now, goddess of fortune herself is taken protection of Vishnu. So she can only live under protection of Vishnu. Without Krishna, goddess of fortune is an illusion. And hence the Shastras say, enjoin that we should seek the protection of Lord Vishnu instead of directly seeking the protection of Lakshmi. It's only Vishnu and devotees of Krishna who can give protection to all. Maharaj Parikshit was an unalloyed devotee. He was protected by Krishna himself. So it was possible for him to give complete protection to all who wanted to live under his rule. And that is why these comparisons in these shlokas about Maharaj Parikshit are important. But what they make us also understand is that we should surrender to Krishna, and then Krishna will take care of everything. He'll ensure that we have necessary strength. He'll ensure that we get necessary shelter. He'll make us forbearance. He'll give us tolerance. He will give us equanimity of mind. He is munificent, and he'll ensure that even the goddess Lakshmi is there to help us, and we can be a resort of everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.